Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. Yes, it is that time once again. We are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this late March manifestation of maniacs and psychos and pumpkins is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday live. So welcome to it. If you've never been here before, I hope you'll hang out. And to everybody else, all our returning friends, Triple M crew, what's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. It has been a few minutes since our last gathering in this format. It's been about a month to be exact since we were here with our illustrious special guest right at the end of February, Mr. Sean Clark, joining us here. So thank you for not forgetting where we live here and for coming and hanging out with us. We got a fun one tonight. We're going to be talking about all the excitement that happened in Boston over the weekend at the PAX East convention with the Halloween video game and highlights from the panel and, of course, that Guinness World Record event. We got a lot of great photos and footage, and I watched the entire panel, and I took a lot of notes, and so we're going to be digging into all that good stuff this evening, and maybe one or two other little things here and there as we go. But it is great to see you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Michael Myers Monday, March 30th. The last Michael Myers Monday of Michael Myers March. And before we go any further, kicking it off right, we're going to welcome a brand new channel member. You guys know channel memberships are just $5 a month, and you get all kinds of killer perks, including early access to stuff like our interviews and more. And every little bit, every membership, every super chat during these live streams supports what we do here at Halloween Daily News. So if you like what we do and you want to see more of it, that's a great way to support. That being said, it is my pleasure to welcome our newest HDN Club channel member, Mr. Ben Brown. Thank you and welcome, and happy Michael Myers Monday to you, sir. Ben Brown, an awesome cosplayer we've met at some conventions. And look at this, another channel member, Mr. Barf Bartholomew, one of our favorite illustrious channel members, has just gifted us looks like a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Barf. That is awesome. Thank you for your support. Every little bit helps keep the lights on around here at HDN headquarters. And if you like what we do and want to see more of it, that is the best way. Here on YouTube, become a channel member and support us with stuff like super chats. You know, there's that gift thing on our videos too. I don't know. We've never got one of those, but that's enabled too. All the monetizations are all enabled, so every little bit helps. So thank you, and everybody, whatever you're drinking tonight, alcohol or not, I'm drinking some nice warm black tea here tonight with a little lemon in there. But whatever your beverage of choice is this evening, raise one up for Mr. Bartholomew, as well as our newest channel member, Mr. Ben Brown. Thank you guys. And happy Michael Myers Monday. Quick hello. I saw a lot of familiar friends checking in early. I saw David Hyam, Megan, of course, the great David Suber in the house. Let's see who else has checked in earlier here as we were warming up. Byron is here as well, Mr. Byron Weaver. Awesome. Megan has checked in. Very cool. Great to see you guys. I see Michael Myers in the house. Awesome. You know, we're in good company when the shape is lurking in the live chat. Philly Billy is in the house. Thank you for being here. And what is that? Grok. I had such a good time helping set this record. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. You were there. That is so awesome. Yeah, we're going to be talking all about that. This is going to be a fun one this evening. Thank you for being here, Grok. Very cool. All right. We've got a good crowd joining us this evening, and I'm sure some others will filter in as we go. Before I get into anything else, I want to remind you guys, as I do, our special sale just for you, just for the Triple M crew continues. Triple M 15, you get 15% off anything currently in stock in our online store. We're actually out of stock of a lot of Michael Myers items. We got some ends masks still left, and we got tons of that wall decor, that retro wall decor, and some other cool masks, not Myers related. Check it out at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. And when you're checking out, use code MMM15 and you'll get 15% off. And we don't advertise that anywhere else, just here for the Triple M crew. Now, before we get into our main two stories, which is, of course, the Guinness World Record, and then after that, we're going to talk a little bit more about the video game and yet more news and updates on that. I do have two brief little news bites for us to chew on for just a minute. And this first one, you might have seen these headlines around in recent weeks. There was an interview that came out. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis is out promoting her new Prime Video series, and she's got all kinds of projects going on that she's out promoting. And here, let's jump over here to this is Variety. And I saw this headline when it came out, and then I saw like all these different outlets picking up on this headline that Jamie Lee Curtis would likely have passed on Jason Blum's Halloween sequel if she knew it was a trilogy, and how she used that to get a development deal. This isn't news so much as just kind of my take on this, if you will, and if you'll allow me to have an opinion on this, and because I read this, and you can even come down here to the exact quote where she says, if they had come to me and said it's going to be a trilogy, I don't think I would have said yes, Jason Blum. And then she goes into this whole thing with Jason Blum is notoriously cheap. How do you make low budget movies? You don't pay people. That's the model. And this is in the same breath that a few minutes earlier, she's praising Jason Blum because is the reason she's here right now, being a producer of her own projects now and all this. So that's a great shot of her at one of the Halloween premieres, actually. Um, so I just wanted to talk about this for just a second here and just give my own take on this. Because again, I saw this headline kind of just being posted and going everywhere, and so I had to read it, and that's really all she really says about it. She says that towards the end or after filming wrapped, David Gordon Green did come up to her and say, "Oh, well, you know it's a trilogy, right?" And to which I'm like, "Okay, you're Jamie Lee Curtis, right?" I mean, honestly, I don't like hearing her say this. I hate hearing her say this really because it feels like she is pulling away from the sequels, from Kills and Ends, and trying to distance herself. And I know not everybody loves those films. Um, I don't even love every single decision about them. But you know, why now to distance yourself? Well, I can understand a little bit why she might want to. I don't agree with it, but I can understand a little bit why she might want to. But my point here is with these quotes, she's really kind of all over the place, praising Jason Blum, but at the same time, kind of slandering him with her talking about how he doesn't pay people, but then she used that to get a production deal, and that's why she credits him now. Um, but I just don't like hearing her say this, mainly because if you didn't want to do two more movies and you didn't agree to them from the beginning and you honestly had no clue, then when David Gordon Green came up and said, it's a trilogy, why didn't you just say, not for me, one and done, I'm out? And, rather than now, all these years later, come and say this because, oh, now you want to kind of distance yourself from some of the reception maybe of Ends or of Kills. I just I don't know where that's coming from, but that's just my thoughts on it. I'm curious what you guys make of that. Why she would say that now? Um, you know, and again, my point is she could have said no, right? You're Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, she could have not done the other two movies, and they would have either not been made or they would have gone in a different creative direction. But um, and again, Variety, slapping that headline on there, and then of course all the other horror sites had to jump on it. So we had to discuss it a little bit here. Now, tell me what you think, though. Um, First of all, do you buy it that she had no clue? Um, I kind of buy it that yeah, they probably didn't talk about sequels, but at the same time, you're Jamie Lee Curtis. You've been in this industry, you know, almost as long as I've been alive, right? And you don't it doesn't cross your mind that if this movie does well, they're going to make more. Of course, they're going to make more. That's how it works, especially in 45-year-old horror franchises, but anywhere in Hollywood, really. So, um, yeah. Do I believe that maybe it wasn't said out loud to her until then, until David Gordon Green said that? Sure, but could it not even be on her radar? I don't know. Anyway, I just those comments just bugged me a little bit because I do like Kills and Ends and enjoy the new trilogy quite much. So I don't I won't take that from our Jamie Lee Curtis. Um, Actually, I will. She can say whatever she wants. But anyway, now you guys say whatever you want and tell me what you think about this. Suber says probably why she wasn't in Kills all that much, then closed out Ends. That's true. She wasn't in Kills nearly as much. Barf says if she didn't want to do the entire trilogy, she should have asked to be killed off at the beginning of Kills from her injuries. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or even at the end of 2018. We've still never seen that alternate ending, but they did shoot an alternate ending. Christopher Nelson told us when he was here that that's his preferred ending of the film, and I think James Jude Courtney would probably agree. Um, so I would still love to see that alternate ending. I don't know for sure that Laurie is killed in that one, but yeah, I mean, and if she truly didn't want to, then like you said, they could have really shocked us at the beginning of Kills with Laurie death and then Karen death at the end or something. I don't know, but I just hate seeing kind of uh, the scream queen, our scream queen, right? And just saying, well, I wouldn't have even done the first one if I had known I was gonna have to do three of them. It's just I don't know. It just not a good sound bite. But you guys tell me what you think. Yeah, David says, but with the 2018 money she made, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if she truly didn't want to come back, you know, then that would mean that there was no contract from the beginning, right? So if she wasn't contracted to do two more, then they had to ask her. She had to agree, and she did, and I guess that's her point. Is she used that opportunity to say, all right, I'll come back and I'll do it for next to nothing, but I want a production deal out of it. I guess that's her point. But again, it's kind of contradictory because she's so happy she got the production deal, and that wouldn't have happened. It sounds like, if not for coming back for these other ones, or did that come if that was already happening, the production deal was already happening just after 2018, right? Then even more reason. Then why do the other two? I don't know. Those quotes were just it was during a panel, and you can read more of it, the whole article on Variety. I'll link it down in the description, but it's just kind of all over the place, and not even mostly about those films. They weren't there talking about them, but obviously she's worked with Jason Blum quite a bit more on the producing side since then. Um, let's see what else you guys saying in here. David said, "I think Jamie Lee Curtis is a great actress, but if she's saying that she shouldn't be in Kills and Ends, then don't make sense." I mean, I just why say it now? And again, she's saying that she wouldn't have done 2018 had she known there was going to be two more. But it's like, so she did 2018, and then she does the two more, and so now she's looking back, and I don't know. But again, I mean, she's if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. But it sounds like now she's saying it wasn't the experience that at least on those other two that she was kind of selling us all that even those other two were as well. I mean, I get that 2018 was probably more special on the emotional level because that was the 40th anniversary. That was the comeback. It was Nick Castle and Jamie Lee Curtis and John Carpenter all back on set together. We saw those photos. I get that one is the emotional center, and maybe arguably overall speaking the best quality wise of the three films. But that's can be debated. But anyway, that's all. I just wanted to comment a little bit on that. Not really news, like I said, it's been out a few weeks, but you guys feel free to comment and give me your thoughts on that. And then there's one other um, little bit of Halloween franchise news that we have to talk about just a little bit here. I think we'd be totally remiss if we did not talk about the fact that there's a new scary movie coming out this summer, and well, it shouldn't surprise you that they're going to be throw in the Halloween franchise a little bit of love, so to speak, parodying clearly here Halloween 2018. Speaking of, and with of course the great Anna Faris here channeling Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, circa Halloween 2018. You know, she's got the hair and the glasses, and there's even a really cool shot of this is Cindy's house, and it's kind of meant to, you know, make us think of Laurie's house in 2018. You know, it's got the barbed wire fence around it. She's got the security, the high powered lights up top. It looks like um, just really funny stuff. Um, you've seen the trailer, and if you haven't, you should watch it. We've got it up at HalloweenDailyNews.com. It's hilarious. They take swipes at literally everybody, and one of the coolest moments I saw in it is this little homage to Weapons, of course. Um, but in this version of Weapons, the kids, you know, they're doing their kind of signature run down the street. But check it out. They're wearing here, I'll zoom in a little bit. They are actually wearing Halloween costumes and carrying trick or treat pails. So Scary Movie is in fact taking place on and around Halloween itself. And it's going to take place partially around Christmas because, of course, there's that great Terrifier 3 moment in the trailer as well. But that, I'm guessing, is a flashback scene. The film's going to introduce us to Cindy's daughters, one of which is named Tuesday and is going to be a very much a clear take on Jenna Ortega, both a combination of her Wednesday character and, of course, her Sam Carpenter or Tara Carpenter character in the recent Scream films. Um, the movie looks hilarious. Here's the poster, and you can see a little bit more of the icons that they will be playing with. Of course, Megan, here known as Mean Girl. Some of the classic characters back. Doofy, of course. There's their version of Art the Clown. Here he's Scarifier. I love that. And here their version of Long Legs. That's Chris Elliott as Short Legs, of course, naturally. And yeah, they got them all in there. And then there's Anna again doing her Laurie Strode, and she's labeled as Final Girl. I love it that the poster basically presents all of them as that they're masks. Again, playing into the Halloween of it all, which I love. Oh yeah, there's her daughter Tuesday, one of the daughters. If you didn't see her before, pretty hilarious. The new Scary Movie, in which we will see all of our favorite recent horror hits from Halloween to Scream 6 to Terrifier 3, Longlegs, Megan, you name it. It hits theaters on June 5th. All right. Give me your thoughts on the Scary Movie parody of Halloween 2018 and Scarifier and just so much more. So much good stuff in there. See, Tim has checked in. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Billy's excited for Scary Movie. Me too, man. Definitely. David's excited for Scary Movie. Smiths Grove Sanitarium in the house. 250 days till Halloween. Be here before we know it. Of course, every day is Halloween here, but October will be here before we know it. Speaking of which, since our last gathering, this is Michael Myers related exactly, but you guys should definitely know since our last gathering on Friday the 13th, actually, earlier this month, we announced the dates and opened up submissions for our 7th Halloween International Film Festival. This is a all independent film festival, not fan films, not AI, but truly indie horror and Halloween themed films. And if you guys can make it, it is happening once again here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina this October 23rd and 24th, 2026. I almost said the wrong date there for a minute. October 23rd and 24th, 2026 is the dates of the film festival. And if you or somebody you know has an indie film that you want to submit for consideration, you can submit right now. Submissions are open on Film Freeway. And early deadline is actually tomorrow, March 31st, but we'll be taking submissions all the way until August 13th. That's final deadline. So you'll be hearing me talk lots more about that here on the channel over the next few months. Ben says, hope it's good. Dug the first 3 scary movies, but they fell off hard after that. Yeah, I don't even know if I saw all of them, if I've seen all of them. I believe that the Wayans were only involved in the first 2, and so now they are back, and I I I think this is going to be a breath of fresh air. I mean, they're promising to offend everybody. They're saying every line is going to be crossed, but I think that's going to be kind of great. And if you've seen the trailer, you know there's plenty of offensive stuff already, but that's what they do, and so yeah, I'm stoked to see it. And it's a Halloween movie, so how cool is that? Byron says Undertone was awesome. Can't wait for They Will Kill You in Scary Movie. Yep. Ah, Ben says Leslie Nielsen saved the third one. I forgot he was in that. Yes, very cool. Yeah, like as the Exorcist character, right? I think. Um. All right, let's talk about this event that happened over the weekend. And if you follow us on socials, you have no doubt seen the news, but a new Guinness World Record was set on March 28th at PAX East in Boston, where the largest gathering of people dressed as Michael Myers from the Halloween franchise gathered in one place. It was 254 to be exact, and they needed at least 250 to set the record. So now to break the record, it'll take 255. And unfortunately, we could not be there in person to experience this event. I wish we could have. It's right up our alley to be there for something like this. But there's been a ton of great stuff shared online from it. Just really great footage and photos. Some from some of the gentlemen here in our live chat room this evening. So we're gonna go through and look at some of these highlights right now because again, if I had been there, of course I would have documented the hell out of this, and we would have had so many photos and videos. But as we were not able to be there, I did try to collect as much of the just kind of the best footage and highlights, and just some of the stuff that we've seen. Oh, there we are. Let's jump over here to Instagram, and this is from our friend Smiths Grove Sanitarium, And you can get just an idea in this reel of just some of the Myers around, seeing it through the Myers cam. All different shapes, all different types of masks. So many. And this was done. Oh, look at that one. What a wild Michael that is. I mean, I love all the different Michael variants, let's call them. So good. So, wow, look at the hair on that variant. Um, so many cool different. This is so funny. Um, yep, that's part of the Ilphonic team. That's kind of one of the iconic moments right there. We'll see that from a couple different angles here, but what an amazing event. And there's that photo we've been sharing, first shared by the official Halloween movies accounts. That, of course, Ryan Freeman, franchise producer there, holding the official plaque. And here, our friend at the Shape of Salem 78, he shared some great photos. He was there, but check this out. He actually sent us some exclusive photos right here. And he was there. And this is just a little taste of what it felt like to be among the true legion of Michael Myers. You know, we've got a Legion of Michael Myers Facebook group, by the way. All of you watching this definitely need to join that Facebook group if you're not already a part of it. Here's another photo. Again, so many different shapes, and they were handing out. Trick or Treat Studios supplied a bunch of the Myers face masks, and I guess some actually some coveralls as well, some cheap coveralls. Not of the quality that some of the true cosplayers wore there, but they had to get over 250 people, so they had to do what they had to do. And this is taken inside the convention. You can see Michael standing here next to this Michael standee and in front of the Myers house. This is part of the setup where the video game had its demo going on and people could actually play the demo for the first time. So some great stuff, and here's another video exclusive right here. Here, this is actually really great. I'm gonna turn the volume up on this one. She's looking for her friend, who is one of the Michaels. This is really funny.
It's supposed to be 250 at least to get in the Guinness Book of Records, and I have to find my friend.
It's so funny seeing so many Michaels out there.
Very good. Very good.
David? She doesn't know which one is David. It's so funny. I mean, this could be a new contest, you know, like find your Michael among the sea of Michaels. Okay. So again, thank you to the Shape of Salem for sharing those awesome exclusives with us. I'm gonna jump over here on YouTube right now. This is shared by our friend Alex, who is his known as Rampage of 78 here on YouTube, and we're gonna watch just a little bit of his video as well. And again, you can see the sea of shapes, hooded shapes, light blue shapes, dark blue shapes, bullet hole shapes, tall shapes, short shapes, young shapes, old shapes. I mean, so there's a surfer shape. Yeah, kid shapes, she shapes, every kind of shape, shy shapes. I mean, it is just amazing to see. And again, this is from the Rampage of 78 channel. And I'm just going to let a little bit of this play here as we enjoy the madness. And this is where they were signing. Everybody had to stand in line and sign their name so they could get the official count and make it official. And we'll fast forward just a little bit. Um, what Alex says in this video is that they were very close after everybody signed. They were very close. They were in the 200s, and it was getting down to needing just a handful of more Michaels to break that 250 record. And so it literally got to a point where some of these Michaels, including this guy, um, filming a lot of this, Alex, they were handing out, going up to literal just passersby on the street saying, "Hey, do you want to come and be one of the Michael Myers in this Guinness World Record attempt?" See, at this time they're 15 people short, so that's when they went out and literally started recruiting people. And there you can see they had some cheap jumpsuits on hand. Trick or Treat sent some of their face masks, and it's just so cool to see. All for the love of the boogeyman. And let's move up just a little bit more. Yeah, here. Look at this. This is the footage right here. Oh, Michael wears Crocs. Cool. Here you go. There's the shot. Look at that. Here, I'll turn the volume up on that for just a minute because that is just too cool. Watch.
Michael! 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 Hell yeah! Good job, guys! Gang!
That is so awesome.
Thank you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and thank all of you guys. Very cool.
I mean, literally a sea of Michaels. And then they did do a speech review, but I'm gonna go back and we're gonna freeze it on a moment here because this is just too cool. I mean, it's so awesome. Just so awesome. And you guys that have followed the channel or seen us out at conventions, we've photographed moments like this. We photographed an epic moment like this at the H45, and there was at least a dozen or more shapes all gathered, and it just happened spontaneously. We didn't organize it like this, but just so cool to see. And yeah, I can't believe that they had to actually recruit people off the street. When they said they only needed 250, in my head I'm like, oh, are you kidding? They're gonna have 2,000 out there, but no, it was more of a challenge to break that 250, I guess, than anybody may have expected. More of a challenge than I expected, but they did it, and so it won't be easy to break the record now. I don't think, but you guys know what I'm gonna say. If that record's gonna be broken, the new number to set the new world record is now, the high bar is now set at 255. Well, if ever there was a time and a place to make that happen, you guys know what I'm gonna say. It's got to be at the H50, 50 years of terror, right? It's only 2 years away. I think this record is definitely safe until possibly age 50. I could see 255 or more Michaels gathering there for an event like this. But again, you can watch that full video over at Rampage of 78, his YouTube channel. And thank you again to the Shape of Salem 78 as well, for hooking us up with his footage and photos as well. Just lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff. Um, so if you were there, keep sharing, keep tagging. I want to see it, and I'll keep reposting and sharing it. I think it's great that Michael is in the Guinness Book of World Records. I mean, is any other slasher in there for something like this? I don't know. I don't think so, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if there is, but I don't think so. And it should be Michael leading the charge. Yeah, Ghostface will probably do it now, and maybe Jason, and yeah, but it should be Michael as the one, the first. Um, so I just thought that was so cool to see, and just enjoyed watching it happen, even from afar. It broke my heart. I couldn't be there, but at least so many of you were representing, including a lot of you that we connect with all the time on Michael Myers Monday through social media. So really, really cool stuff. Brad is in the house. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Sonia has checked in as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Welcome. Barfs. Michael. Yes. Short shapes. Yeah. Shapes of every shape and size. I mean, yeah, I saw she shapes. I saw short shapes, tall shapes, long shapes. Uh, every variation out there, every variation of the mask. And that's what I love about going to the conventions, and especially those Halloween reunion conventions. Is you get every version out there. Ben Brown, our new channel member, he's a cosplayer. He knows all about every version, whether it's Jason or if you're doing Michael. I mean, that's you know, and it's all about the detail. But I love that you had every flavor out there, including just the complete like econo. I think that's what Trick or Treat calls it. Their econo Michael mask, where it's just the face mask. I own one of their first issued ones. It's a great wall decoration, actually. I have mine hanging in our living room. It looks great on the wall, but it's just the face, no hair or anything like that. Really cool. Yeah, there's Ben working on doing all the different Jason and Michael versions. Hell yeah. And you are doing an amazing job because every time we see you, you're in um, either Michael or Jason, and it is always on point from whichever film you're doing. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, man. Actually, revamping 5 different Michael variation cosplay this year. All right, already finished the first one. Jason almost finished one other Jason. Very cool. Excellent. We'll definitely see that in person out at a con, hopefully. All right. Now, in other news from just recent days, of course, the Halloween video game. This all happened in conjunction with the Halloween video game. It was kind of the Ophonic guys and Ryan and Malik at Compass, and they got together and they were going to have this big presence at this PAX East video game event. And so that's when the whoever thought of the idea, let's try to get as many Michaels together as we can. Um, and so all weekend, Michael was all over this PAX East event, and um, attendees from Thursday through Sunday were given the opportunity to play the first ever official demo from the game, a whole little section of the game, and you can play as Michael or different characters. Um, oh hell yeah! Barf has gifted us another super chat this evening, $5. Thank you, Barf Bartholomew. Thank you so much, everybody. Pause what you're doing, and let's have a toast from Mr. Barf Bartholomew. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Have I heard any recent news on the Trick or Treat Studio 78 Michael Myers animatronic? No, I have not heard anything um, new or recent, but I will reach out to Trick or Treat and try to find out something. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, last I checked, I don't even think they had a estimated release date up there. It used to be dated for this summer, and I don't know. They might have just taken that off and said coming soon, but no, I've not checked on it in recent weeks, and I've not contacted Trick or Treat Studios. But thank you for the question. I will drop our contact at Trick or Treat that question and see if I can find out an update, because that's going to be the hot animatronic for this year if it makes it to the finish line this time. All right, Spooky Boo 31, $2 super chat. Thank you so much, everybody. You know what to do. This one's for you, Spooky. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you so much for the super chat. Like I said, all these super chats, memberships, that's the best way you can support what we do here here on YouTube. And just watching and sharing and participating like you're doing. Yeah, no problem, Barf. I will definitely reach out to them. That's a great question. And I know that's going to be a huge animatronic when it finally is released. Happy Halloween to you, Spooky. So what I'm gonna do right now, just to get you caught up, because I did release a video report this past Thursday on the first day of PAX East, because on that day, that's when the developers at Ilphonic released an epic 7.5 minute video previewing gameplay footage for the first time, revealing Dr. Loomis for the first time, revealing that Loomis will be a playable character after you die, which I think is kind of beautiful. That in Haddonfield, when you die, instead of like going to heaven and becoming an angel, when you die, you stay there, only you become Haddonfield's angel, Dr. Loomis, and you just keep on fighting Michael, who never dies. I think all that's awesome. But just to get you caught up, I'm going to play that video report right now. I'll still be here lurking in the live chat. And if you've already seen this, then it's old news for you. You can use this opportunity to, I don't know, make another beverage, make a snack, use the bathroom, whatever you got to do. In any case, after this is over, I'll come back on live and we're going to pick it up from there and talk about actually the panel that took place on Saturday of this event, right before the Guinness World Record was set. And I've watched the entire panel, and I've taken some notes. So we're gonna talk about some of the highlights and yet more new info and details to get us even more salivating and excited for this game when we come back. But first, check out my most recent report, and I will be again right here, still in the live chat, and then as soon as this plays, it's right around 10 minutes or so, I'll be back on live with you guys. So enjoy. The video game doc takes over. The Halloween video game just unveiled our first official look at Dr. Loomis as Michael Myers takes over PAX East this weekend. Hey everybody, Matt here with Halloween Daily News, back with yet another update on the highly anticipated Halloween video game. Just a few days ago on Michael Myers Monday, we were here talking about the big PAX East event where the first ever playable demo of Halloween is happening right now as we speak, starting on Thursday, March 26th. And the event is going on all weekend. They're going to do that big Guinness World Record attempt this Saturday, a big panel on Saturday as well. So we're going to have lots of excitement coming out of that event, and it's already started today because Ilphonic dropped a massive 7.5 minute video featuring tons of never before seen actual gameplay footage from Halloween and lots more new details on the multiplayer version of the game, including the fact that, yes, Dr. Loomis will be a playable character in this game. So, right now, we are going to go ahead and take a look at that 7.5 minute video. And as we go, I will be reading to you many of the brand new details as officially stated on the game's website at HalloweenGame.com, straight from game developers at Ilphonic here today. All right, so here we go. We got a brand new shot of the shape and some new carnage there, and I'm going to pause it right here because as you can see, we're already getting gameplay footage. You're going to see everything that you can see. The targets listed up here: Thomas, Rachel, Jennifer up there in the left-hand corner. Kill all the residents is Michael's mission. This is exactly how it's going to look as you're playing the multiplayer. Now, I'm going to read to you a little bit of what they say on the official website as you watch this gameplay footage. Multiplayer in Halloween is a 1v4 asymmetrical horror experience that pits the residents of Haddonfield against the shape of pure evil, Michael Myers, in this quintessential slasher simulator. Our playable cast of civilian characters desperately attempt to save their neighbors and themselves from the omnipresent boogeyman, while Michael fixates on stalking and slaying his targets. In the game, Michael is a creeping, methodical killer on Halloween night. Haddonfield becomes his hunting ground, and the boogeyman's primary desire is to eliminate every single living resident in Haddonfield. Um, but he also begins each match with a list of special targets that supply greater rewards if killed before time expires. These unfortunate residents are positioned across various sites in the map, and Michael players are empowered to use their nightmarish suite of abilities to locate, terrorize, and ultimately execute their victims and anyone bold enough to interfere with their bloodthirsty ambitions. And then there's this killer sense that when you're playing as Michael, you'll have a killer sense that allows players to step behind the mask and stalk residents of Haddonfield. When using this skill and entering the first person perspective, like you're literally in the mask, Michael becomes aggressively aware of his surroundings and the proximity of potential prey by focusing on targets with murderous intent. He builds varying levels of stalk, which aid him in identifying and tracking targets and open increasingly satisfying options for executions. An effective killer always keeps their victims unaware in their presence until their final fatal moments. And while Michael historically isn't known for his speed, you can move a little faster in this game when you use the shape jump ability. This shape jump will amplify the shape's mobility with hauntingly unpredictable results. In shape jump, Michael slips into the shadows to move around environments unseen. Not only does this increase Michael's base movement speed, but it provides access to other powerful traversal options, including shape dash, which sends Michael lunging forward with violent momentum. Shape jump is confidently one of the most powerful tools at Michael's disposal and supplies unlimited possibilities for iconic jump scare moments. However, that potency comes with a few major caveats. Michael can only enter and exit shape jump while in the cover of darkness or outside a resident's line of sight. The light may provide temporary reprieve of the residents of Haddonfield, but Michael can work to remove sources of illumination by shutting off lights, cutting off power, and even catalyzing temporary blackouts. So, how about that? I mean, the shape literally it becomes more powerful in the shadows when he's unseen. Then he can do that shape jump, and you, as a hero or survivor, civilian character, if you stay in the light, you're going to be a lot safer. But then again, as a Michael player, you can take the lights out in various ways. It sounds like. So it goes on to explain that despite the unquestionable malevolence of Michael Myers, this horrifying homecoming to Haddonfield won't be welcomed without resistance. As the body count climbs and evidence of the boogeyman's presence becomes undeniable, local authorities, residents, and distinct playable civilians may decide to gather weapons and face off against evil itself. Michael knows his way around sharp objects and will have multiple options for melee combat encounters. If if some especially persistent Haddonfield residents do manage to get the upper hand in exchange, don't worry. As game developers have said over and over, you can't kill the boogeyman. While Michael swiftly endeavors to turn Haddonfield into a graveyard, this group of civilian characters attempts to save their neighbors and escape the boogeyman. As a civilian, it's up to you to find fellow Haddonfield residents, convince them of his malicious intent, and guide them safely to one of several possible randomized escapes located around the map before they meet an untimely end. This distinctive cast of playable civilian characters each comes equipped with unique stats, special traits, and signature personalities, and we've already met some of them already in previous reports. To ensure no matches of Halloween play out exactly the same, the team at Ilphonic has constructed a playground of possibilities in Haddonfield, offering civilians a ton of diverse gameplay systems to aid them in achieving their objectives and surviving the night. As the civilians navigate these environments, they will uncover points of interest revealing resident non-playable characters, lootable containers, hiding places, telephones, possible escape routes, and more. Thoroughly and cautiously exploring your surroundings could very well mean the difference between life and death. And when death does come to your little town, it's probably not a bad idea to head to your neighbors and contact the local authorities. Civilians are tasked with tracking down surviving residents and warning them of the looming threats. Successful conversations with residents can permit civilians to request additional calls to police, commands to find secure hiding places, or companionship as they navigate the formerly peaceful streets of Haddonfield. Whether it's a local family, friend, or authorities, there's safety in numbers. Once the innocent residents of Haddonfield have been relocated and persuaded, it's time for the civilians to plan their harrowing escape. And here's where Dr. Loomis comes in. So let's go back here. It says that when characters die, these civilian hero characters die. Even in death, they can support their friends and even return as a sheriff's deputy or as Dr. Loomis. And once they've emerged upon the streets of Haddonfield, they can cooperate with the remaining civilians and responding officers to try and put a stop to Michael's rampage. While he can't be killed, and they keep saying that you can't kill the boogeyman, with enough community resistance, the proper equipment and manpower, he can be detained and shipped back to Smith's Grove. So Michael is not going to be killed. He's going to keep coming. But if you team up with enough people, including Loomis and the sheriff's deputies, then you can detain the Shape and send him back to Smith's Grove. This all sounds incredibly exciting, and I'm going to go back as I'm talking about this and look at just a little bit more of that carnage here at the end. So many characters, you see all their different names in here. Michael, so many different weapons you see in here. There, he's using an axe. The graphics look great. Tons of blood, as they promised. And I really appreciate the idea that they are letting Michael, gain strength in the darkness, in the shadows. It makes a lot of sense to me. And the fact that, yes, Loomis is going to be a playable character after you die, kind of interesting. But there he is. I think he looks great there. There is a little bit of dialogue of the Loomis character in this video. I'm not going to play it right here for copyright reasons, but of course, if you haven't watched it, I know you have, but if you want to watch it again, we will link it down in the description. And of course, you can always check it out anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com. But this is awesome. I love seeing how Michael is going to move. We know that Nick Castle performed the movements, a lot of the slower movements, but some of that quick, vicious attacks, that's TJ Storm right there, and it looks like he did a great job. Some of it looks very aggressive, very powerful. There's a familiar house we all know and love. So many cool locations that we're going to see that we recognize, and then new ones that we don't recognize. That was just a movie theater right there. Just so much cool stuff in here to look forward to. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get yet even more Halloween video game news coming very soon as PAX East continues this weekend. What do you think about this shape jump ability? I think that's going to be very key in this game. It's very cool how that explains how Michael can move, but always appear to be moving slow and can just appear anywhere supernaturally. What do you think about that shape jump ability and here seeing how it's going to look in the game for the first time? Everything I'm seeing and hearing in here is just awesome. I think this is going to be the ultimate horror video game, but what do you guys think? All right, I said we expected some excitement regarding the game this week, and it's already begun. Are we going to get another video with gameplay footage of the single-player version tomorrow? Maybe? I don't know. Time will tell. I do know that this Saturday, March 28th at noon, is that big panel with Malika Akkad and John Carpenter virtually, and then later on, Saturday afternoon at 3:30 p.m., out there in Boston, they are going to be attempting the world record gathering of people dressed as Michael Myers, and it is going to be something to behold. So you will see me. We are going to be here covering all of it, and make your plans right now to join me this Monday, Michael Myers Monday, live March 30th, 8:31 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel, and we are going to be breaking down all of the news and reveals out of PAX East regarding the Halloween game, and that'll be your opportunity to join in on the discussion. Until then, let me hear your thoughts about what we know so far and what we've just learned today about this game. I can't wait to hear from you down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our ongoing coverage of Halloween the video game and Halloween the lifestyle here at Halloween Daily News. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching. All right, we are back live. It is Michael Myers Monday, March 30th. Thank you for being here this evening. Barf says Sucks Malik had a family emergency and couldn't make the panel. Yeah, well, that's the first bit of news with the big panel on Saturday that we're going to be talking about. Malik Akkad was not able to attend. Yeah, Ben, it's gonna be so good, and some of the reaction I'm hearing from the people that were there and got to play it is that it is basically like Friday the 13th, but I heard somebody described it as a jacked up version of Friday the 13th, the game, and that makes a lot of sense to me. That but let's let's look at some of this right now. As you saw in that report, um, there was a panel on Saturday, March 28th. The panel consisted of the legendary John Carpenter coming in virtually from Los Angeles. Ryan Freeman there. He is, of course, Senior VP of Compass International. And then you had Jordan Mathewson of Ilphonic. Jordan, let me get his official title right. Jordan is design director. And Jared Gerritsen, who is chief creative officer there at Ilphonic. And yes, they were originally scheduled to be joined by Malik Akkad, but unfortunately, Malik had um, some family emergency and could not be there. Um, Now, watched the I have watched the panel in its entirety, listened to it twice actually, and took some notes. And so I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the added info not previously covered that was covered in this panel. And I will just say that overall, my impression is that these guys, and by these guys I mean Ilphonic, the game developers, they are coming at this with a passion and with the right frame of mind to give fans, video game fans, and Halloween Michael Myers fans equally what they want out of this game. Um, so I'm gonna read you a couple of the quotes that because I took notes during the panel, like I do, and you can check out a couple of these new stills from the game as we go through here. Um, Here, of course, the iconic Dr. Loomis. So John Carpenter himself said, quote, "This game looks like a movie and it plays like a movie and I'm really excited by it." And John Carpenter also commented on what is definitely going to be one of the most talked about elements of the game, this shape jump feature. And the shape jump feature, we've talked about this before, and it was discussed quite a bit in the panel. It's really going to allow Michael to appear randomly, almost supernaturally, as he does in the films all the time. And maybe he's there, maybe he's not, like in the films. And that is very much going to be part of this game. And John Carpenter himself, speaking about that shape jump ability at this panel, Carpenter said, quote, "I think this is a Carpenter said, quote, I think this is a great game design to be able to allow you to visually disappear and appear and attack any innocent humans in the town. And I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I am thrilled to hear Ryan Freeman say that he and Malik directly were, quote, really intimately involved and hands on in literally every aspect of this game. And I, he made clear that it was not like somebody that worked for them making any of these decisions. So, in other words, every single thing here when it comes to Michael, Haddonfield, Loomis, this went straight to the top and comes straight from the top and was approved by the top of this franchise. Also, a lot of fans very concerned. Some of you have voiced it to us. You're concerned that this Halloween video game might somehow have a similar fate of the Friday the 13th game, which left us all far too soon, like so many of Michael and Jason's victims have. Well, in response, partially in response to that, Ryan Freeman noted that from a franchise standpoint, Friday the 13th had a lot of legal rights issues, but that's, quote, that's not an issue with this one, according to Ryan Freeman. Now, according to Ilphonic, they have no plans to abandon this game anytime soon. They have made it clear, and these guys, Jordan and Jared, made it definitely clear in the panel at PAX East that they have plans for the future. Um, Jared said, quote, a lot of really great reveals around the story are coming. Now, that I think he's talking about what's going to be right here in this story in on launch. But speaking of the future, Jared said, quote, we have a lot to add for a long time after launch. Uh, he also called this easily the scariest game that Ilphonic has ever made, and they talked a lot about wanting the game to be legitimately scary, trying to capture that feeling that the film created the first time audiences saw it, but of course in video game form, which Carpenter commented is a challenge because making a video game obviously is not like making a movie. Carpenter also confirmed that they'll be using the original music in the game. I think that's really cool, and it sounds like music like the stings, like the stab stings. If I'm understanding what they're saying, and again, they didn't spell it out exactly, but if I'm understanding what they're saying, um, those moments are going to be included as well. And then they also mention that there will be hallucinations of Michael, creating, quote, false Michaels. And this is kind of like when Laurie is looking out the window, and maybe he's there, maybe he's not. It's kind of like when somebody in any horror movie is feeling somebody watching them, and maybe it's just the cat or the neighbor, and but maybe it is Michael. He also said that when you are in that POV mode, and you can actually you will be inside Michael's mask, seeing his POV, again mirroring a great effect from the film. They said you will actually hear the breathing and the sounds as Michael would hear in the mask, which sounds really awesome to me. And again, they spoke, they meaning Ilphonic, Jordan and Jared spoke continuously over and over about how they really want this game to be a legitimately scary game, as scary as possible. Um, they're also working very hard to make sure that the multiplayers that people don't abuse it. Number one, that they don't get bored, because if they get bored, then they might try to abuse the game in some way, and they're working to avoid any kind of bullying or anything like that, which, from what I understand, was an issue with Friday the 13th, with the Friday the 13th game. Um, they talked about creating a true sense of paranoia when you're playing the game, and that's part of why they want Michael to be able to appear and disappear, and why you, as when you're not playing Michael, will sometimes sense have these false senses of Michael, these hallucinations of Michael, they call them. And to sum it all up, Jared Garrettson put it best when he said, quote, "We want to make sure that you guys are not let down and that you get a horror game that is Halloween." So to me, I mean, they are singing the right song here. They are saying all the right things. They said, when they asked Carpenter what was the most important thing about the game, he said to make it scary. And these guys, they've talked about it over and over and over during this panel of, wanting to make it legit scary, wanting to give players a sense of anxiety of, is he coming around the corner? And so it sounds like they may have succeeded. Um, the reaction, I wasn't there. I haven't played the game, but I've watched a lot of reaction videos. I've watched a lot of, coverage. A lot of people that went in and filmed themselves playing, and I gotta say, it looks fantastic. I mean, just the look of it, the Haddonfield, the '78 feel of it. I mean, there are scenes in a kitchen where there is this green crock pot that I know for a fact my mom owned in the '70s. She probably still owns it, honestly. But I mean, I can picture it in my mom's kitchen, and it's in there so perfectly. So many details like that, I think, are going to be so cool to see more of as we go. And yeah, they promise that this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. And but I feel like listening to Jared speak about walking around that event and feeling the excitement of fans. And again, it's got to be a combination of just hardcore video game fans that are anticipating this game, and then hardcore horror slash Myers fans also in kind of this, where the Venn diagram, where everything comes together, and that would be at that PAX East event. And I think maybe they felt it for the first time. They're clearly fans, it sounds like to me. But from listening to them speak, it feels like they felt it. And Jared even said, while I'm so excited and I think we've got a great game, we're still working, and I need to. This has made me fired me up to want to go back and work even harder at delivering and not disappointing. And that's why I read that last quote last, because that really sums it up, and that made me happy to hear that. Yeah, they're not done. They're still taking your feedback right now, and going back and trying to tweak and make it better. And it sounds like that will continue, as many of you have questioned and worried after launch. And it sounds like they've got plans way after launch. And I love Ryan Freeman's response that, on his side, of course, he can't speak to the technical stuff, but on the franchise side, he can speak to the future of the game. Ain't no legal rights over here. Ain't no legal rights issues over here. Unlike over in Crystal Lake, where that was tied up for a long time, still kind of tied up. But, all right, so Halloween the game drops September 8th. How stoked are you? How excited are you after seeing all of this new game footage, hearing all of this feedback? What are you thinking now? Are you excited yet? I I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. Give me your thoughts in the comments, and give me your thoughts here in the live chat. If anybody's still awake after all of that, but I think it looks great. Let's see, Barf. Oh, sweet! I just subbed and we'll check your video. Oh, okay, awesome. Great Adventures is here. Okay, great. Yes, you were there too. Excellent. I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh, I just lost where my comments are. I have to pull them up here. Reloading my page. Continue the conversation amongst yourselves. There we go. All right. Checking back in on the live chat over here. Oh yeah, talking about the F-13 game, Dan and Barf. Yeah, I think that is regarded as, just the pinnacle of horror games, but I feel like this Halloween game is aiming to be the new number one. And I'm not just saying it because, we love Michael here. It really sounds like that's what they're pushing for on the development side. All right. Great Adventures. It was a great time. I just put up a video on Saturday's recap as well. Awesome. We'll definitely have to check that out too. Barf says, wish they would have discussed single player, but I'm sure we will get a video on that in the near future. Yeah, I was, like I said in my initial report after that big multiplayer reveal, I kind of thought the very next day they were going to do the same thing for single player, but clearly this event, this PAX East, this whole weekend, their intent was to get that multiplayer out there and to get feedback on that, because they're clearly still tweaking and working and gonna be tweaking and working the bugs out even after launch, I'm sure. Um, so yeah, I have no doubt we're gonna get another big epic, like 7.5 minute video. Maybe not that long, but because I don't expect the single to be as intricate as the multiplayer. But some of you have suggested here during Michael Myers Monday discussions that the single player will probably just be the events of the first movie, maybe, and that's how we get so many of the legacy characters, and then the multiplayer literally picks up after, right after the end of the movie, basically, which makes a lot of sense if they go that route. I do still find it very interesting that, well, number one, I love that as a civilian character or a hero character, when you die, again, you can come back, you can live on as Dr. Loomis or a sheriff's deputy. I think that's pretty cool. Sheriff Brackett, we haven't had any mention of him. I'm surprised, kind of surprised they didn't mention him in there. It'd be great if you could come back as Loomis or Brackett. That'd be kind of cool. But I also love that you cannot kill the boogeyman. Michael will not die no matter what. But the only thing you can do is you can contain him. You can hurt him. You can slow him down. You can knock him down. You can definitely, slow him down. But you can't. He's going to get back up eventually. But they say in that panel that what you ultimately have to do is work together. Oddly enough, doing the Halloween Kills, evil Evil dies tonight, right? That's gonna be some funny shit if that chant is in the game somewhere. But but um, but for real, that's what you got to do. You got to work as a community, all team up, and again, you can't kill him no matter what, uh, but you can contain him and hypothetically at least get him back incarcerated in Smith's Grove, which is really awesome. So yeah, I'm very excited for everything that's going to come. Um, there was a question of who did the voice for Dr. Loomis because we heard a little bit of that voice in the trailer, and his name is Colin McCann, and I've not been able to locate him on social media yet. Believe me, I'm looking, but Ryan Freeman said his name is Colin McCann. He's the same guy. Ryan actually found him around the development of 2018 when they were looking to recreate Loomis's voice for the tape recordings that Dana and Aaron are listening to in that. And I don't think that they ended up using him for that. I think they might have gone with somebody else. But he was on the radar, and they did use him for the Halloween pinball game, and now he's Dr. Loomis in the Halloween video game. So but I look forward to finding out more about um, behind the scenes talent, voice talent, and all that stuff, and just more about where this game is going to allow you to go, seeing the inside of Smith's Grove and Nichols Hardware and the high school, probably. Rabbit and Red, these places we've already seen the outside of a lot of these places, so we know we're going to be able to explore them. So, um, all right, give me your thoughts on everything we've talked about there. Right now, I'm going to do a couple shout outs real quick. You know the deal. We've been celebrating Michael Myers Monday every Monday here since about 2013 when we started this hashtag, and it's taken on a life of its own. And and it means something a little different to everybody, but everybody makes it their own. So every week I got to give just a couple shout outs to a couple just random posts, not even the best. I can't even look at all of them these days. I don't even have time. There's so many, but always got to give just a couple shout outs from a couple of the socials. So let's jump over to Instagram today for our first Triple M shout out. This is from My Name's Taylor. It says every day is Halloween. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Well, every day is Halloween and Happy Michael Myers Monday are probably maybe just about my two favorite phrases in existence. It's black and white with a orange classic pumpkin pale. One more from IG today from Mr. James Hernandez underscore multiverse. Always posting cool Michael Myers content every Michael Myers Monday. And one more today from good old Fake Book, posted by the Shape NC, one of our North Carolina shapes. Cool new portraits here celebrating Michael Myers Monday. As always, when you're sharing your Triple M content or any of your Myers content, or in this case, any of your PAX East, Guinness World Record, or video game content, tag us on the socials. I want to check it out, especially if it's an event that we weren't able to cover ourselves like this. A lot of you guys, some of which were here hanging with us tonight, were kind enough to share your footage and your photos and tag us. And that's exactly what I asked you to do. So I appreciate that. So, yeah, keep it going. Feel free to tag us. We want to see it all, especially cool events like this. And now we have to all look forward to H50 when all 254 of you, I expect to see you back out there because we're gonna break that record at H50, right? All right. It's a date. Well, as always, everybody, this has been great. Keep this conversation going down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much to our new channel member, Ben, and to all of you for your super chats this evening. Barf, I am going to reach out to our contact at Sugar Treat Studios and ask for an update on the animatronic because I'm curious myself. And yeah, there's lots more animatronics news out now. I just did another video today. Lots of cool stuff coming your way. I hope you've checked out some of my recent unboxings, some of my recent interviews. Um, I interviewed the awesome India Isley and the super talented Mina Subari recently. They're in a really fun movie called Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. It's straight out of the 90s. It's fun, it's funny, it's bloody. I had a blast with it. Great music. Um, Check it out. Doesn't take itself too seriously or anything, you know. But it's a lot of fun. Check that one out. Another great movie just came out. It's called Pretty Lethal. It's on Prime Video. I interviewed the director of that, Vicky Jewson, and I asked her, "Did you realize that you were creating the hot new group Halloween costume for this year with these bloody ballerinas and like razor blades and their ballet shoes and stuff?" And she said it was totally her and the writer's dream to do exactly that with this movie. So check those interviews out. Those are two of the most recent ones here on the channel. Lots more cool stuff. Again, channel members get early access to stuff like our interviews and other pre-recorded content. And it's going to be about time to do another members only live stream. You know, we got some new blood in the membership here. It's been a long time since I've done one. I think we need to do another members only live stream. So that's another reason you might want to become a member because you get access to stuff like that and early access to other stuff and other perks that you can find out about. But in any case, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for hanging out, participating in the live chat. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for just subscribing. Thank you for turning on the notifications. If you ever hit the share button, if you ever leave any comments, I see every single one of them. And I appreciate every single one of them. It does help. It matters. It helps with the algorithms and it helps us reach more like-minded people like you, like me. And that's what it's all about. And we got a great community here. I always say this is the best fan community on all of the interwebs. I don't care what anybody says. You guys are the best. Triple M crew for life. All right. This has been great. You guys have been great. Until the next one, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for hanging out tonight with me. This has been great. We love you all. I will see you soon. And of course, that's not in focus, but of course, happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.